The name of my speech is A Make or Break Generation. In other words, we either go get it right now, or it's over. The name of my keynote is called A Make or Break Generation, because I truly believe that is what we are. The reason why I'm really excited to speak to you all, because I really believe that we are the make or break generation for this planet, and really for our existence as a civilization. And so I'm going to actually explain what I mean by that. Now, when we think about a make or break generation, we were not the first. In 1960, the movement, the fight of that time was the Civil Rights Movement. And at that moment, the Civil Rights Movement was in a very stagnating place, right? It really needed some new energy. And what happened was there were young leaders like you all in this crowd, and actually a lot of young leaders from this very city that started to take action. And what they did was they started to do these sit-ins. It started in Greensboro, North Carolina, with 4 young men, 4 freshmen, from an institution called North Carolina A&T. And these young men decided that they were going to take a stand against segregation, right? And so when they did that, they inspired their peers to do the same thing. Now, once that happened, right here in Nashville, right here in this area, you had young people coming from historically black colleges in this city and other institutions as well that started to take similar action, right? So when that happened, next thing you know, you had this momentum that was growing. And so there was a woman by the name of Ella Baker, a woman that we really do not hear a lot about, but she was one of the strongest forces in the Civil Rights Movement. So this woman, Ella Baker, noticed that all of these young leaders, these college students, just like us, were taking were taking action, and that they needed to know each other, and they needed to collaborate to build a robust movement that will change the face of this country. When she brought these young people together, these young people had created a group called SNCC. How many of you all are familiar with SNCC? Raise your hand. Is that 2013 is the new 1960. We find ourselves in a very similar place, and I'm going to show you what I mean. The first thing is this. Voting rights are officially under attack, right? Access to a quality education, to a 4-year institution, to a quality education is a challenge for most Americans, right? The most important movement of our time, which is the environmental movement, the sustainability movement, is currently in a stagnating place and needs new energy. Now, my question to us is this: will we rise to the occasion just like the generations that came before us? Talking about just people of color in general, right? Because the biggest threat to our movement is our lack of diversity, our lack of inclusion and inclusiveness. And we talk about it all the time, right? We talk about it all the time, right? I've been around since 2008. We always said, we need more diversity, we need more diversity. But I'm really not clear on where is this diversity issue on our priority list? And if we really understand how our lack of diversity was actually undermining our movement, right? So this has nothing to do with the planet itself, right? The planet tends to be very diverse. This has nothing to do with the opposition. I'm really not worried about the opposition right now. What I'm really worried about is the enemy within. that allows the enemies without to succeed, right? So how does it start? Now, these stats that I'm about to highlight right now is something that really shocked me. And folks been talking about this for a while, but it really took me some time to really understand why this is really an issue. So, 15% of all environmental grants goes towards marginalized communities. Out of all the money that is going into this movement, only 15% goes to the communities that are hit the hardest. And when we think about the changing demographics of the country, it's pretty clear that America is getting browner, right? So my question, and I have a lot of questions, but the main but another question is, how is the sustainability movement going to be sustainable if we don't increase the participation or start financing the participation of people of color in this movement?